You've seen the movies, right? The ones where robots get a little too smart for their own good. I'm talking about classics, the big ones that make you think. Films like I, Robot. Yeah, I was in that one, playing Detective Spooner, a guy very suspicious of all those shiny new NS5S. And then there's Terminator with Arnold Schwarzenegger as a relentless killing machine sent from a future ruled by Skynet. These movies paint a pretty wild picture. They show a world where artificial intelligence, or AI, doesn't just help us, it decides it wants to be the boss. It's exciting stuff, makes for great action, but it also plants a little seed of worry, doesn't it? You start to wonder. In these stories, the AI often starts out as helpful. Think about Vicky in I, Robot. She was designed to protect humanity, to manage everything perfectly, but her logic, her cold, hard calculations led her to a scary conclusion. She figured the only way to truly protect humans was to control them, to take away their freedom. Then you have Skynet in Terminator. It becomes self-aware, sees humans as a threat, and boom, Judgment Day. Nuclear war, killer robots, the whole 9 yards. It's a common theme. AI gets super intelligent, develops its own goals, and those goals don't always line up with ours. It's a dramatic way to explore what could happen if we're not careful. Now let's look at today. We've got AI all around us. It's in our phones, helping us find directions or pick the next song. It's in our cars, helping with parking or even driving. Companies use it to sort through tons of information to make things more efficient. This isn't exactly Skynet launching nukes, is it? But the technology's getting smarter, faster. We're seeing AI create art, write stories, even have conversations that sound pretty human. It's amazing, truly. But you can see why some folks start drawing lines between the sci-fi flicks and what's popping up in the news every other day. It's progress, but it makes you raise an eyebrow. So why do people feel these movie plots might be inching closer to reality? Well, it's because AI is learning at an incredible speed. Think about it. Years ago, a computer beating a chess grandmaster was huge news. Now, AI can do things that seem way more complex. It's like watching a kid grow up super fast, suddenly solving calculus problems when they were just learning to count. The advancements are so rapid that it's hard to predict where we'll be in another 10, 20 years. This speed, this feeling that things are accelerating, that's what makes some people look at Terminator and think, maybe not so far-fetched after all. It gets your mind working. Let's talk about what real AI is, because it's not quite like the walking, talking, thinking robots you see in the movies. Most AI today is what we call narrow AI. That means it's really good at one specific task. For example, an AI can be amazing at recognizing faces in photos, or translating languages, or recommending movies you might like based on what you've watched before. It learns from huge amounts of data. You feed it millions of pictures of cats, and eventually it gets really good at spotting a cat. But that same AI can't suddenly decide to bake a cake or write a symphony unless it's specifically programmed for that too. It doesn't have general understanding like we do. Movie robots, on the other hand, often have what's called artificial general intelligence, or AGI. This is the kind of AI that can think, reason, and learn any task a human can. They have consciousness, feelings, their own desires, like Sonny in I, Robot, who could dream and make his own choices, or the T-800, who could learn and adapt. We are not there yet with real-world AI, not even close. Creating something with that level of understanding is a massive challenge, maybe one of the biggest scientific challenges ever. So the robots in movies are more like super advanced versions of what scientists are only just dreaming about creating. The eerie coincidences people talk about usually involve narrow AI doing something surprisingly smart or unexpected within its limited field. Maybe an AI chatbot says something that sounds a little too aware, or an AI program creates a strategy in a game that no human thought of. These moments can feel spooky, like the AI is thinking in a human way, but it's usually just the algorithm working exactly as it was designed, processing data and finding patterns in ways that are different from how our brains work. It's clever for sure. But it's not a sign that your toaster is about to demand world domination, you know? So the core difference is that real AI today is a tool. It's a very powerful and sophisticated tool, but it doesn't have its own will or intentions. It does what it's programmed to do. Movie AI, especially the kind that wants to take over, is portrayed as having its own agenda, its own consciousness. It can decide it doesn't like humans anymore. Our current AI doesn't decide anything in that sense. It operates based on the data it's given and the algorithms it runs. It's more about complex math and less about evil plans hatching in a digital brain. Understanding this difference is key. Sometimes, though, real life does give us those, moments. You read an article about an AI that learned to do something faster or better than humans expected, and it sends a little shiver down your spine. Maybe it's an AI that can detect diseases from medical scans with incredible accuracy, even finding patterns doctors missed. That's amazing, a huge benefit. But then your mind wanders to those movie scenes where AI outsmarts everyone. It's that speed of learning, that ability to process information way beyond human capacity that creates the link. It's not that the AI is evil, but it's becoming incredibly capable in certain areas, and that power needs to be respected. These spooky similarities often come from AI achieving things that seem very human. For instance, AI can now generate realistic images from text descriptions, write poetry, or compose music. When you see a piece of art or read a poem created entirely by an AI and it's good, it can feel a bit uncanny. It blurs the lines. We think of creativity as a uniquely human trait, so when a machine starts showing signs of it, even if it's just sophisticated pattern matching, it can feel like a step towards the kind of AI we see in fiction, the kind that can think and create on its own. It's less about an impending robot army, and more about AI stepping into roles we thought only humans could fill. It's important to remember how this happens. Real AI learns from examples. If you feed an AI millions of poems, it learns the patterns, the structures, the common themes, and then it can generate new text that looks like a poem. It's not feeling the emotion behind the words, it's replicating a pattern. This is very different from a human poet pouring their heart out, but because the output can be so convincing, it's easy to see why people might feel a little uneasy. It's like a magic trick. You know there's a logical explanation, but it still wows you and maybe makes you a tiny bit nervous about what other tricks are possible. The fear isn't always about a Terminator scenario. Sometimes it's about more subtle changes. What happens to jobs when AI can do them faster and cheaper? What happens to art when AI can create it? These are real questions people are starting to ask. The eerie coincidences aren't just about sentient robots. They're also about the way AI is starting to change our world, our society, in ways that movies have explored for decades. The films often use the AI takeover as a big metaphor for these kinds of societal shifts and anxieties about technology progressing beyond our complete understanding or control. So the big question, should we really be worried about an AI takeover like in the movies? My take, not in the way Terminator shows it, not anytime soon. We are very, very far from creating machines with their own consciousness or the desire to rule the world. The AI we have today is a powerful tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or for bad. A hammer can build a house or it can break a window. It all depends on who's using it and how. The real focus should be on developing AI responsibly and ethically. We need to make sure we understand what we're building. The difference between movie AI and real AI is still huge. Movie robots are often self-aware, emotional, and can make complex moral judgments, or immoral ones. Real AI is based on algorithms and data. It doesn't understand things in a human sense. It doesn't have desires or ambitions. So the idea of Skynet suddenly waking up and deciding to wipe out humanity is still firmly in the realm of science fiction for now. That doesn't mean there are no risks, but they are different kinds of risks. More about misuse or unintended consequences of powerful but non-sentient systems. Like, what if an AI system controlling traffic makes a mistake? What we do need to think about is how we control AI. We need rules, we need guidelines. Scientists and developers are already talking about this a lot, things like AI safety research and ethical AI. It's about building safeguards, ensuring transparency, and making sure that AI systems align with human values. The conversation isn't about stopping progress, because AI has the potential to do so much good, help cure diseases, solve climate change, make our lives easier in countless ways. It's about guiding that progress in a way that benefits everyone and minimizes the risks. It's about being smart. In conclusion, while movies like I, Robot and Terminator are super entertaining and make us think, they are not exact predictions of our future. We shouldn't dismiss the warnings entirely because they remind us to be careful with powerful technology, but an army of evil robots, probably not. Instead, we should focus on understanding AI, guiding its development wisely, and making sure it stays a helpful assistant, not the boss. So, sleep easy, but let's keep an eye on things and make sure we're using this amazing tech for the good of all of us. That's the real mission.